Welcome to Silverstone, home of the British Grand Prix. This iconic track held the very first World Championship Formula One race back in 1950, and it's a firm favourite amongst the fans and drivers alike. With good opportunities to overtake at the end of the Wellington and Hangar Straights, there's a lot of potential for close action around the 3.6 miles of the Silverstone circuit. With 18 corners and average lap speeds of around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the longest and quickest circuits on the calendar. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Alex, you're no stranger. With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Ricciardo, Charles Leclerc and Vettel, Perez, Ocon, Sainz and Lando Norris, Stroll, Gasly, Kimi Raikkonen and Kvyat, Giovinazzi, Magnussen, Romain Grosjean and George Russell. Latifi and Alexander Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track
and the lights are here now. We're ready to get racing for the 70th Anniversary Grand Prix. And it's slide down where we go from the back of the grid. We're racing as Alexander Albon. It's a last two question mark challenge, and we'll see whereabouts we can get in the Red Bull car. Taking it relatively cautious into turn one with the only car on the medium tyres. They're going to run a bit of an alternate strategy, heading now down in towards Village, going up the inside of both Hasses and a Williams. And looks like we've got three positions into that one corner. Now fighting away with George Russell. Alex and George, very good friends off the track. We go round the outside of the Williams drivers, side by side with Russell. We carry the momentum and move ourselves up now into P16 on the back of Antonio Giovinazzi towards the end of lap one, running now towards Stowe. We look to the inside of the Alfa Romeo driver and we get the job done under the brakes. And Red Bull having much better aero, we can slide past into P15 now and chase after his teammate Kimi Raikkonen. Had a look on lap two down into Brooklands, couldn't find a way past, but now as we go up into Luffield, trying to go clean around the outside of the experienced Finnish driver. And we just about squeeze around on the outside. We're now side by side with the Alfa Romeo driver, and that Ferrari engine, of course, is actually decent in the game, unlike real life at the moment. We go swooping around the outside at Copse Corner, and we bit of off track there, but get away with it. And now running through Maggers and Beckett, we can start to pull away from the two Alfa Romeo drivers and chase after the Racing Point up the road. And that's exactly what we did. End of lap three, on the back of Lance Stroll. Carlos Sainz and Gasly battling away up the road, right on the back of Stroll. Up in Richards, bit of overtake to try and get past him as well. Looking to the outside of him and going deep on the brakes. Actually allowed us to go around the outside of Carlos Sainz as well. It's two cars down into the Vale chicane. And we've got past him. And Structure losing two positions. Gasly now, lap four. No holding back, straight around the outside of the AlphaTauri driver. Of course, man Alexander Albon replaced. And we're up now past Gasly at Stowe Corner, which seems to be a bit of a favourite spot for us, overtaking him on an absolute charge at the moment. Every overtake has to be quick and fast. And now on lap 5, end of sector 1, 3 cars ahead, trying to go around the outside of Perez, can't quite find a way there. Almost doing a switchback now on the Mexican driver, clean around the outside of the Racing Point. And we just about avoid contact, keeping that as close as we could, and slotting ahead of the Racing Point driver, now chasing after the two Renault drivers who are battling it away just in front of us. We fly now through Copse Corner, absolutely flat out, and you can see, you can barely see us. We're all in a line astern at the moment. The Renault driver's giving it everything in front of us, and we're trying to just slide past. We've got, I think Ocon is leading the train here at the moment. Ricciardo just behind, and we're just behind him now. Both at DRS, and it almost beat 3 wide, but using pretty much all of our overtake. 3 wide now, down into Stowe. This is send it down the inside, and we get ahead of the pair of them. A double overtake down into Stowe, and a lap later, smooth little transition there. We come into the pit lane, just caught up to the back of Kvyat. And tyres an interesting thing here on a 25% race. Mediums, you sort of want to run 6 laps, soft 7, so we want to utilise that soft tyre at the end. And coming in to the pit lane. It's a very slow pit lane because you sort of cut off Vale and Club. Coming in for our set of soft front tyres as the Red Bull boys make a lovely stop. And now we just have the joys of waiting to run all the way down the pit lane.
An eternity later.
Out the box, and we're ready to go once again, chasing. We're pretty much at the back of the field, down in P20 now. We need to put in a stonking in lap, and you see as we complete our first lap, our out lap overtaking a lot of cars on the exit, and actually just coming out behind Lando Norris, another one of Albon's buddies, and we managed at the end of lap 8, reel him in on those fresh softs, up to temperature, looking to the outside of the McLaren driver, side by side, as we run down towards Stone, we swoop around the outside of Lando Norris, and that's a fantastic move down into Stone. Definite favourite point, overtaking of mine, it must seem, and making the charge, but like Alex Albon did in the British Grand Prix last weekend after his pit stop, setting the fastest lap of the race and overtaking more cars at the pit lane. And we're now into P7. Sergio Perez has stayed out, so he's in the lead, but we're effectively in P6, and it's just the big boys in front of us now. And we put the hammer down, trying to reel them in on those softs. You just see Max in the foreground, and Max actually overtaking Charles Leclerc around the outside of Stowe, doing it just like we have, and he gets the move done down into Vale. So Charles Leclerc will be the next car for us to overtake. A great move from Max, but there you see Sebastian Vettel currently holding P3. Then it's Max, then it's Charles, and then we're in 6th place as things stand. We're pushing onwards, and we've got to put the hammer down. P3 is what we want. Alex and I both want the podium. Albon desperate for that first podium in Formula 1. It's come so close this season and last season. And can he finally get the job done at the 70th Anniversary Grand Prix? Right on the back of Charles Leclerc now, as they fly now down the National Straight towards Copse Corner. And of course, the Ferrari is going to have better straight line speed, but we're going to have the pace through the corners, especially on these soft compound tyres, tucked underneath that rear wing of the Ferrari driver, pretty much flat out. And then we drop it into 7th, drop it down 2 gears into 5th, and running a little bit wide. We're going to try and gather speed on the exit as best we can. DRS opens using the little overtake we have left. And now looking to the outside of the Ferrari driver. We're going to try and send it around the outside of Charles Leclerc. Side by side with the Ferrari driver. We're going a bit deep. And can we seal the move off on the exit? Yes, we can. We move ahead as we dive into Vale. We are up now into P5, and just our teammate and Vettel between us and P3, and right behind Max now as we go down into Brooklyn, try and go around his outside. We swoop around the outside of our teammate Max Verstappen, and he was not holding back at all. There was a very aggressive move we had to make around the outside, but we get the job done. And now, can we chase after Sebastian Vettel? It's the final lap of the Grand Prix, less than half a second between us. We have DRS, no overtake left at all. Going down into Stowe, we're right behind the Ferrari driver, giving it absolutely everything, and down into Vale. We're looking on the back of the Ferrari, looking to send it down the inside now of Sebastian Vettel. We're side by side through Vale. As we go into Club, we try and do a switchback as he goes in a little bit deep on the power now as we run towards the final corner. There's contact. We're trying to send it. We cross the line first, collect Vettel into the wall. But we keep 3rd place. The stewards deciding it was a racing incident, unlike last week when Albon got involved with Kevin Magnussen. But what a finish to the race. And wow, that was intense. Final lap move for the podium, and Alexander Albon keeps the podium. What would be his first podium in Formula 1. And I mean, absolutely giving it our everything on those last couple of laps. But the two Mercedes take the top 2 steps, with Bottas getting better over Hamilton in the race. And changing what the starting order was. Hamilton took pole, just like the British Grand Prix last weekend. Will he be doing that again on Saturday? Who will take the points on Sunday? Can Alexander Albon get his first podium after a tricky week in Silverstone for the British Grand Prix? We didn't even set the fastest lap. Just shows the pace of the Mercedes, even with those soft tyres towards the end. But nevertheless, 20 to 3rd. Great result for Alex. Great result for us. And I hope everyone enjoys the 70th Anniversary Grand Prix this weekend. And I'll like, subscribe and comment for more F1 2020 content. And we'll see everybody very, very soon.